at last. That's the reaction of Farid Ahmed to today's guilty pleas from the man responsible for causing so much hurt on March 15 last year. Mr Ahmed's wife, Husna, was amongst the 51 worshippers killed at the Linwood and Al Noor mosques. News he would not have to endure a trial came through this morning after Brenton Tarrant, in a surprise move, pleaded guilty at the High Court in Christchurch to 51 murder charges, 40 of attempted murder and 1 of engaging in a terrorist act. Conan Young was in court.
Brenton Harrison Tarrant, you are separately in charges of 1 to 15 of the Crown charge list, charged that on the 15th day of March 2019 at Christchurch, you did murder Khalid Al-Hajj Mustafa, Musa Nur Awale, Hamza Khalid Al-Hajj Mustafa, Ashraf El-Murzi Raghib.
It took the court registrar 2 minutes and 32 seconds to read all of the names of those murdered at the two mosques on March 15. When she had finished, the man responsible for their deaths, who appeared via a video link from his Auckland prison, was asked to enter his plea.
Yes, guilty.
It took the registrar almost as long to read the names of each of the 40 worshippers. The 29-year-old was accused of attempting to murder, many of whom continue to suffer long-term injuries.
To each of these charges, charge 52 to 91. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Only the imams of the Al Noor and Linwood mosques, Gamal Foda and Abdul Alabi Latif, were in the public gallery to hear the shooter take accountability for his crimes, including engaging in a terrorist act. Restrictions on gatherings due to COVID-19 meant victims and their families were not even told the hearing was taking place. However, Justice Cameron Manda is determined they will be at court for sentencing, something he says will not happen until the COVID-19 restrictions are lifted.
It is regrettable that the COVID-19 restrictions that presently apply do not permit victims and their families to travel to be present in the courtroom when the defendant entered his pleas of guilty. In an effort in some small way to mitigate the unfortunate circumstances that leaves victims and their families excluded from the courtroom, arrangements were made to bring Messrs Albi and Fuda to the court to bear witness on behalf of the worshippers of their respective mosques.
Gamal Foda, who survived the shootings, turned away from the screen on which Tarrant appeared and was visibly upset as the long list of those killed and wounded was read out. He and Imam Abdul Alabi Latif both declined to comment after today's hearing. But Farid Ahmed, who famously forgave the shooter, says the guilty pleas will give his community peace at last.
I'm very happy to hear that he has accepted his guilt. This is a step towards the right direction. I still pray that he will be a loving person and he will not practice any hate.
Sheikh Hassan Rubel was shot 3 times inside the Al Noor Mosque. He says not having a trial will ease the pressure for victims' families.
I feel that all the memories are coming back, and inside, most of us, the victim families, we are feeling really shaky and emotional. So I think this decision will relieve us from lots of mental pressures.
John Milne, the father of 14-year-old Saeed, who died at Al Noor, says he and his family are celebrating.
My daughter said it all. Yahoo! I was happy anyway, but now I'm happier. I've forgiven him. My wife won't have to go through all the drama that she was trying to get prepared for. She was determined not to cry, just to show him that what he'd done didn't really affect her. But I don't think she would have been that strong.
The Police Commissioner, Mike Bush, paid tribute to the victims and their families, saying they had inspired all of us to be kind and more tolerant.
I want to acknowledge the courage, but also the grief of the victims. And I have no doubt this plea will have an impact on all of you. And it will ensure that you don't have to relive this through a court trial.
Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says when she heard about the guilty pleas, she breathed a sigh of relief.
I know that there will still be, I'm sure, a certain sense of relief that the whole nation, but particularly our Muslim community, are being spared from a trial that could have otherwise acted as a platform. Nothing will bring their loved ones back, but this is a small reprieve.
The ongoing disruptions caused by the nationwide COVID-19 lockdown means a sentencing date may not be finalised for some months. Tarrant has been remanded in custody and will next appear on May 1st for a call-over. Kei o tau tahi ahau mō te hōtaka o te ahi, ko Conan Young tēnei.